If anybody's already watching, hello, welcome to the live. I'm just trying to get everything set up right. So, I don't know. I'm trying to get music here. Won't be too loud or nothing. For he will do, do. Computer's so slow. Whatever. We'll come back to it. We'll come back to it later. Anyways, welcome. Anybody here? Howdy, Charlita. What is up? Oh, there's my music. Hold up. That is the music. I think that's the music. Let me see. Instrumental. Instrumental is the music I want. Second thought. No, second thought. We'll just play any old music. Copyrights, beef, whatever. Whoever else is here, sound off. Let me know you're here. Horton, here's a who. We are here, we are here, we are here. Feel like I'm looking for my soul. Like a poor man looking for gold. There are thieves in the temple tonight. Voices from the sky say rely on your best friend to pull you through. And even though I wouldn't ever, even though I really truly wouldn't. How's that work out? I can't remember the word. Even even though I wouldn't, I couldn't really truly, cause my only best friend is you. Ooh, 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 come on. Thieves in the temple tonight. Kicking me in my heart and tear me all apart. Cause me and you could have been a work of art. Thieves in the temple. Baby, don't you know I'm holding on? Let me see here. Alright, we still got the one person. Shelly, this is Howdy. Gina's watching too. What is up? Trying to get the daggone computer to work. And I forget it. It'll work when it wakes its butt up. I swear, it's like I don't see how that computer is supposedly doing so many different things. Whoops. So many different things. I made this whole little setup and I didn't even do it right. And I still ain't got it right. Creak, creak, creak. Chair says, you're fat. Well, like the chair says, get off me. Anyway. Media player is starting to wake up. Yes, I still use media player. I don't like the safety cone looking thing. I don't know. I have problems with that, but yet apparently everybody else has problems with media player. My media player only gives me problems because the computer's running slow. There we go. Anyway. Sitting in the morning sun. Sitting in the morning sun. I'll be sitting Trying to turn the volume down. Watching. Great music, she's listening to. Let me see. Trying to get I need to see if I can. I need to see if I can get share to some people and see if they can come in too. Just open. Wasting time. Whenever I share this, it may temporarily freeze it, so don't be alarmed. I'm just trying to share it to other people. Okay, we're back. We're back, and we have the combination. We shall save planet Druidia. Spaceballs! There we go. What do you think? Think I look good? Trying to get it to turn down a little bit. Go down. Trying to do the volume, and now it's saying error. Would you like to cancel this process is taking longer than just crank the volume down. What accent is that? I am Rottish, Russian, Scottish. Not really. Whatever. Okay, this is getting on my nerves. 1 second. Ruse. Oh, ha ha ha. Yeah, Drew Calloway. Chilling here. You gotta knock on my house. Is there anybody out? Howling and prowling and shivering spin around, eclipsing the camera. I do not care. Let's see. No, I'm good. I was about to say, oh, do I need anything? No, I don't. Okay. Okay. I'd like to wait a few minutes before I really start talking, but I might just go ahead here in a second. Got one of those annoying cuticles that are right under the fingernail, and it's just so microscopic to where if you do this with your fingers, rub them together, rub it against the fingernail, you can feel it. It's like, it stings. But if you try to go bite it or grab it, you can't get it. Been a minute since we've been live, so I decided to take a break because I've been working on the Batman spoofs forever. Who else be here? Sound off, please. I just noticed that the number went up from 1 to 2. So I had those 2. Oh, yeah. Now, whoever is here new, just letting you know, we're live. This is technically a Q&A. You can ask me about the show. You can ask me about my health. You can ask me about Walk with Wisdom, which is my 3rd channel. Then you can also ask me about the video game channel, whatever. We're just chilling, listening to music, and doing a Q&A. Also, I'm going to be talking about how was my first professional acting gig that I got to do this past week, which was a lot of fun. So, this song is this past Halloween. Fright Night music video. Fright Night 2 music video. That'd be fun. Lenny Kravitz! Anyway, you have a new friend suggestion. Oh, I bet. Anyway, okay, now, alright, here we go. Let's talk about, what this past week. Okay, first, it was originally going to be on Monday, but The dress code was formal because it was a walk-on extra. It was a anybody could show up and be an extra kind of deal. Which, if I want to think about it too much and go, well, I wish my talents would have got me there. You know what? Whatever. My talents will get me there eventually. I've got agents and stuff. It's just a matter of time. But this was something that was happening locally, so I had to jump at the chance, and it was professional. This could be something else to go on my resume. I needed that. So I'm like, okay. And it could be a lot of fun too. I'm like, I need to get that experience anyway. I don't want to get out there on a movie set and like just get stage fright. That didn't happen at all. I was worried because of the way my head has been, because of like the whole blood pressure, the doctor scaring me half to death, my anxiety, my just my whole headspace. Sorry, it was just almost the same level as me, so I was getting distracted. No, but I didn't. As far as on camera, I did not get stage fright. They had the camera like right here a lot of times. Like they would just kind of like have it like right here, and then it was going to do like kind of like a zoom out and kind of panning shot. And I'm like, great. But he's like, all right, we got this. He's like, I'm gonna put the camera right in your face. Like, you don't mind, do you? And I'm like, no, it's good. Had my glass of fake beverage. It was like well, it's not a fake beverage. It could be a beverage. I just wouldn't recommend drinking it. Because it was water with food coloring in it, and they told us that do not drink the water because it's kind of like a stale kind of water, or maybe it's a fountain water. I don't know. Like maybe it was treated. I don't really know. But all I know is that like it was water with food coloring in it. I had something green, and someone goes, "What is that? Mountain Dew?" And I'm like, "No, more like Mountain Don't." So but there was this young woman named Sophia across from me, and she was a sweetheart. She was, first of all, I had a blast with everybody there because for the first time in forever, um, it was I was able to work with people that you didn't have to worry, you didn't have to explain everything, you didn't have to compromise because they just didn't want to be bothered with a lot of stuff. Like YouTubers or other voice actors, that sort of thing, like where you're like, okay, man, I got this idea to do this. I don't really know if I want to do that. And it's like, well, dude, what do you want to do? I don't know. I don't really want to do that. And then whenever like you're trying to get the voice recordings over and everything, like you're like, okay, man, I need you to send me the voice recordings. And it's like, okay, send me your parts. I got mine ready to go. All I need is yours. It's like I need it. Put those right there. It's like I need them, and it's like they'd be like, I'll get to it when I can. I just got other stuff going on, and not to sound heartless or unsympathetic, it's or unconsiderate, but if you commit to something like this, and I say, I want to get this done before Sunday, you know that. And if I tell you that and you say, I got it, I'll take care of it for you, no problem. It's like a lot of them, they don't have the incentive because they're not being paid. So they just kind of just go, I'll get it whenever I can. They get lazy, and I'm like, and you're sitting over there, then you become the jerk because you're beating them over the head like I need this. Anyway, okay, I'm droning on long enough about that. Back to the role and stuff. Sophia was on point. She was great because I'm glad everyone was fun to be around. That makes it great. It really did. It really did. It made a huge. It was a blast. I have no negative thoughts about anything that happened during the filming. Nothing. Nothing went wrong at all. Everything was great. Everything was fine. There was not a situation, at least that I saw. If something like this happened, it was unbeknownst to me. But what I'm about to say, what I'm about to say is yeah. Anyway, there was no situation where one of the actors was like, oh, we gotta do another take. Are you serious, man? What was wrong with that one? I just did it. And I'm like, because I've dealt with people like that, in the past, just trying to do a skit. Yes, I'm not a major movie maker, nothing like that, or a major director. I'm not paying these people, but it's still, you deal with that and it gets annoying. And whenever you get on the set and everyone's just ready to go, everyone's professional, everyone's kind, everyone's considerate, everyone's motivating, everyone's just loving, everyone's caring. It's like everyone's very considerate. It's like it was almost too good to be true, quite honestly. I'm just walking around. I'm like, hey, I was nervous to talk to anybody because I'm like, these are the stars, and I'm just an extra. They didn't treat me like that. They treated me like I was a co-star. They didn't treat me like I was just some extra. Like, oh, you're just a guy that sits in the background. No. If anything, my confidence was really boosted because with all the anxiety I've been under, with all the self doubt I've been under in the past couple months, and especially like not getting any professional gigs, yet, and despite having an agent, and well agents now in Texas, not being able to go, not being picked necessarily to go film anything, it's like you start to get disillusioned. You start to go, maybe I'm just not as good as I thought I was. Maybe I'm just a legend in my own mind, or maybe I'm not all that great, and just you really start doubting yourself. But I went onto that set and they made me feel very good. They're just like as soon as I introduced myself to them, and I naturally was like, hey, okay, look, I just want y'all to know I do have experience in acting. I know what I'm doing, so you don't have to worry about too much direction with me or me getting or me having a hard time dealing with anything. They're like, really? And I showed it to them, showed them my demo reels, showed them my YouTube stuff. They was happy to have somebody that had any kind of experience like that, because some of the extras were just everyday people, nothing wrong with that. But sometimes, if they said, okay, guys, we're going to do a reset, the director would have to explain it and go like, that means, okay, everybody get back to your markers that you were just at. If you forget, just ask, I'll help you, stuff like that. But me, I was like, but I knew what that meant, so I was on point. So it's like, okay, Josh, it's like, not Josh, it's like, okay, we need to reset. Like, there's a moment where I was standing, drinking like some fake liquor on day two. Well, technically day three for them, but day two for me because I missed Monday. That I'll come back to that just after I say this part. But it's like I was standing there drinking like my fake whiskey, because I was supposed to be a drunk because it's a karaoke bar in this scene, So it's like, okay, I don't know why I did this, but it's a karaoke bar, so I'm drinking my whiskey. I'm just kind of in the background, And the theme was like casino cards, poker kind of aesthetic. So people had like masquerade masks and like the feather in the like a little feather band and the little top hats. People had stuff like that. And I got me a mask. I was wanting a mask, and they gave me one without me even asking, without me even alluding to it. I'm just sitting there thinking to myself, I'm like, man, I want a mask. One, not because of self-conscious reasons or anything. I just wanted a mask because I like the more theatrical characters, the more theatrical stuff. So I'm like, if I got a mask, that's going to help me stand out, because I can go, that was me, But because I'm playing a drunk, keeping the mask on my face didn't seem right to me. So I'm like, what would be great is if I'm drunk, but I have the mask up on my forehead and my hair's down and everything. I'm just kind of like, yeah, well, like, because like whenever you're drunk, you want to like raise your mask so you can drink and stuff. So, and masks are cool, but this is for Charlita. What can I say? Chicks dig the mask. Kane. Anyway, um, anyways, okay, but it's like I had it tilted up here and everything, and they loved it. They're like, I had got complimented a couple times. They're like, dude, first of all, we love your look. One guy told me he liked my beard. He's like, dude, the beard, I like that beard, man. That works for you. That is awesome. And I'm like, well, I hope so, man. I'm like, I try to do my best. I'm like, this is just something I like, but I don't know. And he's like, it looks good on you, man. It really does. And because like at first I thought he was just, because he was a younger guy, so I thought that he was kind of, mocking me in like a passive aggressive way, like that looks great. Mm-hmm. That's just up here. That's up here. That's all me. But but I got proved wrong right off the bat, like, cause he was very nice to me, very complimentary and everything. Then the next day, like for the bar scene, we had to like check. Before I go into that, I'll come back to that. Day one was a dinner scene where we're eating dinner and stuff like that, and The woman, and it was formal dress, so I wore my white dress shirt and my I think I was wearing blue jean pants. Yeah, it was no, it was slacks, navy blue slacks, and some dress shoes that my friend Charlita that she got for me because I did not have slacks. I did not have good shoes either. I mean, the shoes I'm wearing right now are just, yeah, ouch. They are just dirty. They're the only ones I got, and they're that crappy foam soles. So there's no grip. They just slip everywhere. Anyway, okay. But anywho, yes, I would have made it Monday, but because I did not confirm that I would be there, because I was asking about the formal dress, like, am I, can I wear a white dress shirt? Is that okay, or does it need to be a suit? Like, and they're like, no, 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 formal dress. That's totally fine. Okay, thank you. But I missed my opportunity Monday. They said, well, because you didn't confirm it in an email that you were going to be here, we had to take you off there. But you're more than welcome to come back, Tuesday. So I went Tuesday. That was my first day, and that was whenever I met Sophia, and we had the dinner like little scene that we've shot. And what was cool was she was wearing a full suit, tie, coat, everything, and I'm wearing just a dress shirt. So we had to do a scene where we're talking in the background so they can pick up background noises and conversation and stuff just for noise. And they said just find something to talk about, and everyone's kind of like looking around going like, what in the world are we going to talk about, because you could talk, but it's like unless you can like really hook a conversation, you can't just start sentences, and it sound good. So I said, I'm like, I got an idea. I'm like, well, because you're in a suit and I'm in a dress shirt, I'm applying for a job and you're meeting me here. We're having like a dinner interview. And she's like, that's great, so that's what we did. We went and we talked like that. Then there was points of the shoot where you had to mime it. So it was like a silent spot. Um, and if you're confused, by the way, of like everything, because I kind of went back and forth, just so you know, right now I'm talking about my day one, technically their day two, but my day one of shooting was a dinner scene. So that's what we're doing. We're background extras in a dinner scene while the stars are walking through the dinner scene. They need to have like conversations for background noise. Well, for the parts where they need to hear the dialogue better, we are supposed to mime it like a silent spot kind of thing, where basically you're having a conversation but you're on mute. And so what I did to help her, because she was very good at it, but then there was points where she would just kind of like she was just kind of pause because she didn't know what else to say. So I would try to drop hints, and then she would drop hints too. But what we would do is we'd be like, I would say dog, but I would say dog with a very, very faint whisper so she could just hear the word dog, and then she could say whatever she wanted under her breath, like, and I might also, like we need to physically move too, because that'll show, because we can't just sit here and talk, because that doesn't do anything. So it's like at one point, I don't know a lot of sign language. I only know one thing in sign language, which is beautiful. So I told her, I'm like, she just goes, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. She keeps saying, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. Like she's just not understanding me. So I'm like, and she goes, and she said thank you, and I'm just like, you're welcome. Because I didn't know any other words. I didn't know how to say you're welcome in sign language. Um, but earlier, before we officially started shooting that day, we're sitting down going over what we could talk about, and her eyes get big, and I'm like, and she goes, there is a very big spider on your shoulder, and I'm like, what? And I turn around, and there's a big guy behind me, and there's a woman sitting at a table behind. There, two people are sitting behind us at this table, and they both go, "Yeah, it is like on your shoulder." And I'm like, well, Big Dan, can you help me, man? Because like this Daniel, he was this big fella. Like he was a heavy set fella, but he was not just heavy set. This dude was tall. He was like easily 6 foot, 6'5", maybe. No, no, maybe. maybe more like a 6'3", something like that. I would say, but he was tall. So I just remember him being like this big giant. You know, I'm like, man, this guy's awesome. So no, spiders are not fun. Um, and from what I gather, they said it was a daddy long legs, but judging the environment that we was in, because it was a building that was being renovated, it was a restaurant that was being renovated. That's what we filmed in. I'm like, it's probably a cellar spider, which is just the ones that you see in the bathroom with the messy webs that are technically harmless. You know, they just cause like itchiness, but that's about it if they bite you. But nothing really to worry about. But even still, I didn't want to be filming, and then all of a sudden, like, look at that dude, he's talking. There's a damn spider on him. You don't see that? And I'm like, so anyway, but no, it's like Big Dan goes to like swipe it off. He's like, well, I don't know where it is. I guess it fell off, but I don't really like to deal with spiders. I'm like, come on, BFG, help me. And he just goes, he's like, I'm not really screaming. I'm just like, come on, BFG, come on, man, help me out. And he's just like, he's like, well, I don't really like spiders. I don't see it no more. And I'm like, oh man. I'm like, oh, BFG, more like the rock monster from Neverending Story. They look like big, strong hands, don't they? And he started laughing. He's like, I don't really get the reference. And like the woman sitting across from him, I think she's a couple years older than him. And she's like, I do. I've seen the Neverending Story. She's like, I get it. It's like a big, giant rock monster. You'd think he could help you, but in reality, he's like, I'm really weak. Anyway, that's been forever since I've seen that movie, so I might have some facts wrong. Anyway, um, okay, where was I? Okay, yes, we during the dinner scene, we're gonna stay on day one just so I don't get anybody confused anymore. After the whole talking bit, and then the muted bit, he came in and the director came in and he's like, all right, he's like, okay, so now we need to he's like, now we need some sound effects. He's like, so I want to hear those glasses clinking and the tables, and like y'all could drink, if you want to, and eat some of the food because we had fake food as well. We had like this like never story reference is great. It's like it's like what you call it? Dang it! It's like he's like we had fake food, and like Isaac came in, which was the assistant director. He came in and he said after one director said drink and eat, Isaac came in and basically said, okay, no, you don't want to. No, actually, it was the reverse. Isaac came in and said, don't drink the water, don't eat the food, really. He's like, because the food is old, it's been here for a couple of days, we just kind of had it there. It's been left out, It's not moldy. It was not moldy or anything, but it was like they fixed it maybe like Monday morning, so it was left overnight kind of deal. It was just cooked rice like in a little ball, and they got like hot sauce and like squirted like one little spiral around it and said, "Don't that look fancy?" And it's like, I mean, yeah, I mean, as far as a fancy restaurant's concerned, yes, I would say so. But uh, and then like the second director came in and said, take you a bite. I mean, not the second director, the first director, he had said take a bite, and I told Isaac, I'm like, by the time he came in and said don't eat it, I'm like, and Isaac's like, did you take a bite? And I'm like, I wasn't supposed to. I'm like, I kind of figured. I didn't want to eat it. So because he said he's like, make sure you not to take too big of bites because we got to keep it for the shots. So I'm like, okay. So what I did was I took a grain of rice and put it in my mouth on my fork. Like I was like, miming like, I don't know, man. Like our food looks really weird. So it's like our food is fancy. I mean, you ever eaten here before? Oh no, I've never actually eaten here before. I don't know. This I'm not entirely sure if I'll like this, but I'll try it. So we're playing with our food, and like I grabbed like one grain of rice. Little did I know that one grain of rice had a tiny drop of hot sauce on it. Old hot sauce that had been left out all night, so it stank. It smelled like feet. But then I found out later on that my own feet stunk, so I had a double whammy, and I'm like, because later that day we went to go try on some jean pants because my grandmother wanted to buy me some pants and stuff. Uh, no, wait. Charlita bought me the pants, and my grandmother bought me the shoes. That I said I had that mixed up earlier. Yes. But we went to go buy some blue jeans later that night, and like whenever I was taking off my shoes, I'm like, I still can't get away from that smell. And I'm like, oh, that's my own feet. Oh well. It is what it is. You know, I mean, like, it was kind of humid in there too because they also had like a fog machine going on in there because they wanted the environment to look like a smoking area. So, and keep that in mind, by the way. You know, the whole smoking bit and the drinking bit, because I'm gonna come back to that again. Because if you know me, dare against drugs. So, just put a bit in that for later. Anyway, okay. Um, I took a grain of rice. It had a bit of hot sauce on it, a tiny bit, just enough to burn my lips, like get them hot and everything. And I'm just like, cause I put it on my lips like that or whatever. And I guess the fork, I think it was the fork actually had hot sauce on it and it rubbed it on my lip because the rice wasn't spicy, but it's like, we're supposed to be quiet right now. So I'm over here like this. I'm like, you know, pretending to drink my Mountain Don't drink. You know, it's just water with green food color in it. So I call it Mountain Don't instead of Mountain Dew. But I'm sitting there stage drinking, which if you don't know what that is, stage drinking is whenever you have a glass of liquid and like you put it up to your mouth and you let the liquid splash up against your lip. So whenever you bring the cup back down, you can just go like that and wipe your lips because it gives off the illusion that you've drunk. So I'm doing that a good bit. Now I'm doing it more because I also have a glass of water next to the green water. So I have like two drinks there. So I get the water. As I'm doing it, there's like a crumb of food or something floating in the water from because they also pointed out that they said they're like also these cups we didn't have time to wash them so like so just I mean I asked him later on. I'm like, so we were drinking after other people? He's like, no. We cleaned them. We wiped them down, but we didn't really have time to really wash them. He's like, so there's fingerprints on the outside from like where we would reset them and stuff. And I'm like, oh, okay. Like I trusted him and everything. I mean, like so everything was fine, you know. So everything was cool and everything. We got that they said if we was to get sick to call them, let them know, and they will do everything they can to like reimburse us or anything like that, that sort of deal. But that wasn't an issue. I'm sure they would have done that, if something would have happened, but nothing happened because nobody was drinking the water that I know of. Nobody was eating the food that I know of. But I had burned my lip with the hot sauce, so I'm sitting over there. I can't talk because it's the silent scene. I'm just over there. I'm miming to her. My fucking lip is on fire, and she's like, "I'm sorry." That was her main line that she would do. She's like, "I'm sorry." Like if she didn't understand, she'd be like, "I'm sorry." So I'm like, she goes, "Oh, is it spicy?" I'm like, she's sitting over there going like, she's not laughing a good bit because she was a more she was a more serious type of person, not necessarily actor. But she's a serious person, so she wasn't really giggling a whole bunch, and she was able to keep it. If she was about to bust out laughing, she was able to maintain it. So, um, either way, but it was definitely funny because I'm over here, I'm like, my fucking lip is on fire, man. I should have ate that stupid grain of rice. And Isaac came around whenever I told him, like, yeah, my freaking lip was on fire. He's like, well, we said not to eat it. I'm like, I ate a grain of rice, but I think the hot sauce was on the fork, and I think I just lip balmed my lip. And he goes, oh, that's terrible. And I'm like, I'm sitting there drinking, and I'm like, there's like a crumb in my cup. And I'm like, come on. And he's just like, he's sitting there laughing. He's like, no. but but it was all good. Like we had a lot of fun. There was like one young man that was there. I didn't see him night 2 or night 3, but or day 2 and 3, but he was there. Like he was like giving us drinks and everything. Well, he was supposed to pretend to drink. He was pretending to serve us water from the pitcher, like he was pretending to refill our glasses. And there, I said it right the final time. But from there, there was like one point I got him to kind of crack a little bit because I looked at him and I'm like, I know you're faking it because he just looked at me and he goes, he just smiled and walked away. Thankfully, the camera was not on us at that point. It was over there on the stars. We were just kind of in the background. They even said like they're like you guys are gonna be in the background, so it's gonna be really really foggy. you're gonna be out of perspective and everything, so out of focus, where, but that's okay. They're like, we're gonna come back and get some more shots, y'all. Don't y'all worry. And I'm like, okay. I'm just happy to be here. I'm like, I know, I got plenty of shots. I know at least 2 shots. So y'all got right up here, so I'm happy. Well, mm, Sophia wasn't able to make it day 2 or 3 because like she lived about 2 hours away and was unable to travel back and forth, and she didn't have the gas and stuff, and she didn't have no money or no place to stay, uh for the overnight and stuff. So she had to go back, which I hated because I'm like, man, she would have loved night 2 and 3. That would have been a lot of fun. But say la vie, we still had a lot of fun, regardless. And night 2, which was the bar, which was the karaoke bar bit. This is where Sarah got to come with me, my sister, which was great because me and Sarah was in a movie together now. If you recall, this past December, I did a video where Sarah explained how she was in a movie, the Year Without a Santa Claus, the live action TV movie that they made way back in like 2004 or 2003, I think. She was actually in that movie as an extra, but they cut her. They cut her scene out, but she spent all that time walking around and everything. But so yeah, so she was in the movie, but so now I get to have a video where I get to say me and my sister was both in a movie together. And that was a lot of fun. Now we did not work together necessarily. I mean, there was like one shot where I was supposed to like walk forward and just kind of be like, yeah, all right, woo, that's what I'm talking about. Like, yeah, like sing, baby, like that kind of thing. I'm supposed to be like the loud, drunkard. And in my mind, I'm just like, okay, you've never drunk a day in your life. You never smoked a day in your life. But you know exactly how drunkards act. You've seen enough movies. And you have worked in several different southern environments, like boat factories, factories in general, landscape and manual labor jobs. You've worked enough blue collar jobs to know how, yeah, baby, let's do this. So yeah, you know how to act like them. I just didn't hoop like a lot of them. I didn't go, woo! I think I did it maybe once, but I think everyone just kind of got like a little startled, so I didn't do it again. I'm like, yeah, I'm like, I ain't gonna lie. As I did it, I scared myself. So like, I'm sorry because it was like a silent part. And I'm like, was I not supposed to do something? No, we loved it. That was great because we told everybody to make noise, and nobody was making noise. But then you hollered and went, woo! He's like, I loved it. And I'm like, okay, okay. And he's like, no, for real, I did like it. He's like, but they'll get the hang of it. He's like, a lot of people tonight are more casual people. They're not really actors. They don't really know. He's like, they're not really, some of them are just kind of here. They're not really paying attention all that much. He said, but that's because they're not used to it. And I'm like, oh, okay. Because I didn't go around and meet everybody. I didn't go around and talk to every individual. I talked to whoever I was standing beside. I'd try to like say a couple words to them, but I stayed on my cue because I didn't want to mess anything up. And I would ask questions if I needed to and everything. But like I said, the point where I'm supposed to go, yeah, like that, and walk up and do that, I'm in front of the camera, and Sarah is sitting right here. So I'm like, I'm gonna bump into Sarah because I'm supposed to be staggering. They're like, we want you to stagger. We want you to be like you can't hardly walk, where like you got to walk forward, but like maybe like you trip over your own feet a little bit. I tripped on her, and I'm like, oh, sorry, man. And I'm like, I just like walked up a couple of feet, and I'm like, yeah. So I'm like, that's a shot where I actually get to like bump into Sarah. I'm like, there, now we can say we technically worked together because I literally was right bumping into you. So, let me see what else. There was like another point where like they was walking around. This woman was walking around with like a dish, and she had like little M&Ms, peanuts, and like broken pieces of like little chocolate crunch bars, I think, or whatever, like just like flakes of like little chocolate. And so I grabbed me a couple M&Ms, but they had peanuts in them, and I'm like whatever. I'm like, I don't care what they got. I'm like, I like M&Ms anyway. I don't care. Well, she comes back around later on, and she's got now apple slices on there. I'm like, oh, thank you. I'm like, look, you are a godsend right now. I'm like, my diet has been mostly fruit based. and chicken mostly. So I'm like, thank you so much because I had high blood pressure. So thank you so much. Poor thing, I didn't get to explain it. She thought, oh my gosh, this was a good idea. I need to get more fruit because there's at least two people here with blood pressure issues. There was one person there, a young woman who I spoke with, because she actually her blood pressure was dropping and she needed to drop. She needed to bring it back up. So I told her, I'm like, get a Dr Pepper, get a spicy beef stick, get a pickle, like get some coffee, So I was trying to help her like with that and everything. So she's like, oh yeah, thank you. She ended up getting something. I don't know what she got, but she got something that helped her out. Um, and let's see. The woman she came back. I'm trying to remember where I was. The woman came back around. She not only had apple slices this time, she had apple slices and diced strawberries. I'm like, oh my gosh, thank you. She's like, I was just thinking about you and what you said about blood pressure. Thank you so much, sweetie, for pointing it out. I'm like, oh, it's okay. She said, I don't need this stuff to like reduce my blood pressure or anything. This is just what I've been on. I love fruit, so I'm like, this is my snack. This is what I've become. This is what I have turned my snacks into is mostly fruit. And she goes, and she's like, oh well, I'm so glad. Well, day three, uh, just gonna jump ahead real quick here and then go back. Day three, she had walked around. She's like, "We got freshly cut watermelon. I was thinking about you." She's like, "I got you some fresh watermelon," and I'm like, oh, "You are awesome!" I'm like, "You are awesome." So I go to sit down. Okay, I'll come back to that. Like I said, going back to day two, like they said, they handed me whenever they first handed me my drink. They're like, okay, we need you to be a drunkard, and you're gonna stand in the back, in the corner, and because we need some people in the back, but not a lot of people, so we just want maybe like one person back there. He's like, so we're gonna have you in the corner, and then whenever Brinson walks in, who was the producer, it's like whenever he walks in, to grab I can't remember her name, doggone it. It's like whenever I think Tracy or Trixie. It's like whenever he comes in, he grabs Trixie and he walks out. As he's walking in, you walk behind him and you go around and you sit on this couch right here that's on this little platform. And he's like, and you got to be drunk, so just kind of like just sit like you would if you were just like trying to relax. I'm like, okay. So my brain said, okay, I'm a drunk. I don't care. I'm like how I sit, how I look. So I'm sitting on like this little lounge couch. So I'm like, okay. So I get up there and I just kind of like kind of faint, spread my legs, kind of like not unlike what I'm doing right now. Kind of just spread my legs, put the cup right here. I'm just like, ugh. Mask is still up on my forehead. I never really put it down. I think I pulled it down because like there was like a one part where they get up. This girl gets up there and she's singing really bad karaoke and she gets stage fright, so she goes to try to leave. Her friends make her get back up there and they all sing together. But like whenever she sings bad, they're like, "Oh, okay, I want some shots of y'all's reactions. I want you all to go like, oh, good lord, get off the stage." So I'm in the background. I'm drunk. I don't have no lines. I'm not really saying anything. So I'm just like, yeah, get up there, sing, come on, sing. She starts singing, and it's horrible. So I'm just like, I drop my mask, start drinking. And the director came by and he goes, he's like, I loved that, by the way. He's like, I love the whole the mask coming back down. I'm like, I didn't expect them to be paying attention to anything I was doing. In my mind, I'm like, I'm gonna do these things because I think they're funny. I didn't think they would catch what I was doing because I'm not the star, I'm not the focus. But he's like, I want you to know, he's like, I love what you're doing. I'm like, you saw that? he's like, well, yeah. He's like, that's why I got you back here. And he told me later on, and I got told by a couple of them that like I'm doing great. I have a great look. They said like your hair, your dress shirt, because now the dress shirt I'm wearing is black. Because now it's like a different night. It's no longer formal. It's more like you're in town formal. Like you're wearing a dress shirt, maybe some blue jeans, and maybe like a gold chain or something like that, or something. And I was trying to sneak. I know, right? Oh, great compliment. Which I'm happy about that. I'm very much am. But it's like what I thought was funny was I had tried to sneak in some purple because that's how I roll. So tried to sneak in some purple because I told my sister, I'm like, if I get me a commercial and it's streaming, and me and you are watching Tubi one night, and my commercial comes on, and I'm just some guy that's walking up to a check-in desk at a hotel, God willing, because there's a hotel commercial that I'm trying to get right now. That's in Louisiana. The travel is paid for. The hotel stay is paid for, and it's about like $1,200 for per day. So I'm like, please let me get this, and it's in New Orleans. Pick me, pick me. I will gladly go back home. And I told him, like, I was born and raised there up until 2018. Come on, man. I'm like, I'm 32. Send me back home, especially if my way is paid for and I'm taken care of and I'm getting the payday for it. Heck yeah, I'll go back to Bog Easy. Don't you mean Big Easy? I know what I said. Anyways, cesspool. Anyway, no. Okay, but rewinding. He's like, you got a great look. He's like, you really do. He's like, I just love the look you got going on. I love the necklace because that's what I was gonna say. I tried to sneak in purple, but they said that to help with the lighting and everything, they just decided to film the movie in black and white because it's an independent film. It's called Lady of the. I never said the name. The name of the movie is called Lady of the Knights. Knights being medieval knights. Um, I'm not entirely sure, but once the movie actually is released and actually is somewhere streaming, like I can download it, it's going on Leowolf TV movies on Rumble. You can bet that. And I will definitely be sharing all the tidbits here on Leowolf TV of me and my sister scene. So, um, anyway, but they said they was gonna film it in black and white. Now I'm like, I snuck my purple shirt in here for nothing. I was actually mad. I'm just like, darn it. They found a way. They're like, dang it, they heard what I said about the purple. Shoot. And they're like, well, it's like maybe the next movie, you can do it. And I'm like, well, was that a bad thing that I snuck purple in? I'm like, I'm sorry. And they're like, no, man, it's pretty much casual. Even if you were a star, unless we gave you a specific outfit to wear, you can wear purple. If you wanted to wear all black, but then like say your necklace was purple, like we wouldn't care. I'm like, food for thought. Thank you. I'm trying to keep my other leg up here, but it's starting to kind of hurt. Shin splints are terrible. Anyways, okay. Who's the second person that just joined in? We are talking about my first professional gig that I just did this past week, acting in a movie. It's an independent movie, by the way. But if you are somebody new watching up here, please let me know your name. Say hey to everybody. But getting back on topic, they said like my look was good and everything. They liked my necklace because even though they filmed me in black and white and I couldn't do the purple shirt, I still got to wear my necklace, which it's got the white lion on it and it's got like the evil wolf on it and it's got the blue and purple cross on it. I still got to wear that, and on top of that, I got to wear my bracelets, which are too high up there right now. My bracelets, my little dog collar for my little Benji dog that I lost, and then my white bracelet with the purple gem. I got to wear that. And I got a couple compliments on that. They're like, dude, I like that bracelet. Is that like a real gem or something? I'm like, no. The other one was, is that like an infinity stone? I'm like, no, it's my favorite purple's color. I mean, my favorite purple's color. My brain not working as normal it does. I'm Yoda. Anyway, um, anyway, I said no. It's just my favorite color is purple. And they're like, oh, okay. And because I'm not gonna go around telling everybody, I'm like, yeah, this is my make believe Power Ranger morpher. Of course, I'm not gonna go around telling everybody that because I'm like, it's come on, it's metaphorical for me as like a morphing thing of life, but I don't have time to really go into all that. So I just said, it's my favorite color. It's purple. It's a gemstone. I like it. And they're like, oh, okay. It's no big deal because it's the truth. It's not a lie. So anyway, I'm slipping more in this chair. My poor rump roast. Anyway, okay, where was I? All right, we did like the whole. He's like, all right, get him a whiskey, because like, we're gonna put you in the back corner. And I'm like, okay, this is all still night 2, by the way. Night 3 is basically much of the same, but with only a couple of differences. But it's like, okay, day 2, it's like, okay, we got, well, I keep getting it mixed up. Night 2, day 2. Day 2 for me was actually, we filmed it at night because they pushed it back to give everybody more time and everything. And then the next day we went back to doing it during the day. So anyway, okay, but just for the sake of it, we're just gonna say day 2. Day 2, I'm in the corner and he gives me a thing of whiskey, and I'm just like, man, I don't drink. I'm dare for life, and they all giggle at that. They're like, ah, right, and I'm like, what? And he's like, what? He's like, a lot of us in here don't really drink. It's not really alcohol, Josh. I'm like, I know, I'm picking at you. My first character, I'm a drunk. Ah, you see what I did there? Yes, I see the irony. Annoy people greatly for all summer with dare jokes. Dun 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 dun. It's like Leowolf TV, dare against drugs and alcohol. First professional role. You're a drunk. I'm like, no. I see the irony. Anyways, but so that was funny. And then there was like another point where I had to be staggering, and they're like, "Okay, Josh, now in this scene, what we want you to do is we want you to get the chair that's right beside this young woman up there, and we want you to like sit beside her, but you got to be kind of rough with it because you're drunk. You know, you're like, oh yeah, like what's up, baby?" And you ordered her a drink and stuff. She's gonna take it, but she's gonna totally blow you off. She's gonna get up and leave, you know, because you're hitting on her, but she's gonna totally blow you off. I'm like, oh, that's good because I'm terrible at hitting on women. And he goes, he's like, okay, well, good. He's like, you got it down pat. And I'm like, yep. So, and he tells me later on, he's like, by the way, I like that modesty of yours. I mean, is it modesty or just being self conscious? I'm like, so I like, I prefer to be both. Anyway, um, no, so I go to sit by her and I scooch the chair and it's kind of go like, yeah. And I put the chair right beside her, no big deal. But as soon as I plop my big butt in the chair, it scrapes her chair. It goes like that, and I'm like, and my back is to the camera, so I'm just kind of like, yeah, that like if you were looking at me from behind, it looks like I'm like, hey, babe, what's up, yeah. But in reality, like in front, like if you were looking at me in the front, you could see I'm just totally miming something. I'm just like, yeah, baby. But I'm actually going like, I am so sorry. I did not mean to bump your chair like that. Are you okay? I didn't hit you, did I? I'm so sorry. You know, I'm nervous because I don't want to ruin this. I thought I did. I thought I overdid it. And she just goes, she's like, no, no, no. It worked out really good. You're doing great. You're doing great. But your mask is still on your forehead. I'm like, I know. I'm like, I got that. I got it up there because like I'm supposed to be drunk and hammered. So you know, it's like I got the. It makes me look silly, you know. And she goes, oh yeah, good idea, good idea. And then they bring the drink that I bought her, and she goes, oh, thank you. She forgot to get up, but apparently it wasn't just that she forgot to get up. I think it was a matter of also she didn't see a clear path for her to like get up and walk away because like she was like right beside these other chairs and tables or like the bar. So she goes, oh, thank you, and I just kind of like, yeah, and like so she just goes, and like so she's ignoring me. I'm just like, so I pretend to like go like yeah like that or where. And the director's like, he's like, what? He's like, hey, you're supposed to get up and walk away, but I see you probably didn't really have enough room. He's like, so what was y'all talking about? And she's like, oh, well, he was trying to hit on me or whatever, but I told him I wasn't interested, so he just went like, okay, yeah, like whatever. He's like, that's great, I love it. So I'm just like, because I thought I blew it, I thought I messed up because I'm like, she was supposed to do something, and I think I was supposed to jump up and do something, you know, but I don't remember. Because sometimes he would tell me something, and then the second director would come in and tell me, "Okay, I want you to do this." I'm like, "But I was told to do this." By who? All right, by the director. And he goes, "Okay, well that's great. Do that." He said, "Whatever you told first, do that." And I'm like, "Okay, you got it." So like there was no arguments. Like there was no, "Well, I want you to do this." No, there was none of that. It was just straight up like, "Oh, you were told to do this? Okay, that's no problem. That's great. That's great. Just as long as you got a cue." You ready? He's like, "Can you get up?" He's like, "Where's your marker? Where was you told to stand?" I'm like, "I just gotta stand right here." Okay, good. All right, man. You're doing great. Thanks. I'm like, every other word, but you're doing great, man. You're doing great. Like I said, I had such a wonderful time. Oh my gosh, so uplifting. Wonderful people, wonderful young people. There was even some older people in there as extras. I'm like, they were also wonderful. They were also like really good. Um, like I said, no complaints at all. If I could say anybody looked like they had a sour face, like they were like kind of annoyed, I would say it was possibly this young woman named Trixie. But I think it wasn't that she was annoyed. I think if anything, she was hot because no, I don't mean like she was attractive because like well sure she's attractive of course, but I meant like she was having to wear a fur coat and there was like no air condition in that building. We had like a little unit that they wheeled in there to kind of like keep people cool and stuff. And she would have to whenever she filmed her scene, she had to wear like a little fur coat, and it would like and she would cover up with like this, and she would just kind of walk in. So it was like hot, humid. People was like some of the stars like their eye makeup was their mascara was running because like uh mascara eyeliner either one like their little eye makeup that they had to wear to like help their eyes look like so you could see it, you know, in the lighting and everything that was running, you know, like at times they had to like reapply it and dry their faces and everything cool off for a bit. So I think she was just more annoyed about the heat than anything. I like but that was about it. That was like the only time I would say well, I mean, she looked a little annoyed, but I think it was probably from the heat. I don't think it was from anything else. Um, but other than that, like we all had a great time. They was very nice, very happy, and everything else. She was also very nice and very sweet and very happy, as far as I know. Um, let's see here. Where am I going next? Let's see. Okay, I did the chair thing. Okay, what else? Um, trying to think. I think that was night three actually. Yeah, okay, so we're gonna move on to day three. Day three, Sarah's also with me and stuff. You know, she was there day two and three with me, which was awesome. Whenever we first showed up there, here we go again, going backwards. When talking about them being motivated and them being wonderful people, just so uplifting for me. When we showed up on day two, he goes, "All right, the return of Josh. Josh returns. All right, man, what's up? Happy to see you. You ready to rock and roll?" I'm like, "Absolutely." He's like, "All right, it's what I like to hear, man. Who's this?" I'm like, "This is my sister." "All right, Miss," and I'm like, "This is Sarah." And he's like, "All right, Miss Sarah." He's like, "Welcome aboard." He's like, "We loved having Josh here. We were so happy to have you and Josh back." He's like, well, Josh back and you here." He's like, "Thank you so much." And he's like, "Isaac, can we find can we find like a seat for these two legends here? Can you seat these two legends here?" And I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, I needed that so freaking bad. I'm like, he just don't know. He ain't got a clue. None of these people got a clue of what I've been going through. How could they? I mean, obviously, you know, they can't read my mind. But I'm just like, I needed that so freaking bad. That made me feel so good. Just these two legends here. And he's like, "Oh, by the way, I was watching some of your YouTube videos too." He's like getting more familiar with you and stuff. He's like, "Dude, man." He's like, you are a very talented person. You've got a lot of range as far as creativity and your and what you can do and everything." He's like, "Dude, you are on the ball, man. You got it. You got it going on, man." I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, "This can't be real, man. This can't be real." I'm like, because I could show stuff to people and they're just like, "Oh yeah, whatever." But this guy sees and he's like, "Dude, I freaking love this, man. You've got a lot going on, man. This is awesome. Dude, you are really talented." And I'm just like, "I am." You know, I'm like, I'm just so out of it. You know, I'm like, all I could say is, "Thank you." Yeah. Um, I try, you know, I'm like, I try. And he's like, "Yeah," he's like, "The voice work you did is really good too." He's like, he's like, that's really good, man. That was really good." And I'm like, "Really?" You know, 'cause like I said, I've been going through a lot, so I'm just like I've doubted myself for so long, and I still doubt myself to a degree. But like I said, that was just such a dream come true working with those people. Oh man, um, night two, no, night three or whatever. There was a couple new people there. There was one young woman there that we got to meet, and she was a lot of fun. I'm trying not to name drop too many people. I dropped one name, but that's because she actually is in the movie. Like she's like the star, so Trixie and stuff like that, and Brinson. So that's because they will be in the credits, you know. I don't know if we will be in the ending credits or not, if that'd be a thing or not. But either way, because we're just extras. I mean, like they may have us in there. Depends on how they do their credits. Night three was really fun because it was a lot of the same that we did on night two. However, we did, let's see, it was like one of the things I got to do was I got to stand closer to the stage where I would definitely be in the shot. And he even said, he's like, dude, he's like, we're going to try to get you in here as much as possible. We're going to let you shine and let you do your thing and everything else. So they're like, we want to give you a shot. We want to give you a chance to really show what you got. Because if we can do that, and because that may actually help you in the long run. So if we can do that, then we're going to do that. Because you're talented. You're very talented. You're a very caring young man. You're a very nice young man. You're an awesome guy. He's like, we want to help you out, as much as we can. He's like, I'd like to get you on stage and so you could show off what you could do. He's like, but I can't guarantee that. And I said, I'm like, you know what? That's not a big deal. I'm saying I didn't know. We both didn't know how the karaoke thing was going to go. We didn't know if it was going to be extras getting up there and fake sing and stuff. Sorry, that was my text messages going off. I don't know if it actually was heard. Anyway, uh, I gotta wrap it up here. That was what the text was. Um, gotta feed. I gotta feed my mother. Like she's hungry. She doesn't eat till like later on and stuff. So I gotta go feed her and feed my niece. So we're gonna wrap this up in closing. But um, yes. They let me get in plenty of shots to where they're like, because we know you know what you're doing. We know we can just say, hey, go out there and do this, and you got this. We want you to shine. We want to like help you shine. I'm like, well, I appreciate that. So one part there was they had me sitting up front and center. They're like, all right, let's get him up. Oh yeah, whenever they had me sit by that girl and buy her the drink and stuff, they gave me a beer bottle this time. So I went from drinking whiskey to beer, and now I'm back to drinking whiskey. Um, but I go to sit down at this table. The table's got 4 glasses of alcohol, and I'm like, and I got one in my hand, and I'm like, people say I got a drinking problem, but I got no problem drinking at all. And like the guy behind me, he's hamming it up too. He's like, yeah, man, we're supposed to be drunk. Where he's like, I'm gonna help you, man. He's like, I got you back, man. He's like, I'm gonna be right there with you, man. So we're sitting over there just like talking, like making noise and stuff. He's like, hey, man, you enjoying tonight, man? You got enough there for the rest of the class? And I'm like, what are you talking about enough for the rest of the class? These are my kids. These are my children. See, like right here, like, I like pretended to like go like I was gonna knock one over, but it still had liquid in it, so I just kind of like nudged it with my hand. I'm like, whoa, no child left behind. Come here. And I'm like, and this right here, she's my ex girlfriend. Her name is Ralph. And he goes, Ralph, you name your drinks? And I'm like, I name them after what comes after. And he's just like, he started laughing. And I'm like, yep. I drink it and I start saying, Ralph, Ralph. I sing it in the big giant white speaker that's in my bathroom. Anyway, just hamming it up, just talking like all goofy and everything else. Then there was a point where the 2 stars, they're up there singing their karaoke song. They're singing, and whenever they're done, they're singing this song, but they're singing really high pitched like this. Like I guess they're just having fun in this scene. We don't really know a lot of the context of what's there because we're just extras and we just happen to be plopped in the middle of something happening. So they're up there singing, okay, we're singing like this, and I'm like, well, I'm like, at least it's better than House of the Rising Sun because they had to do House of the Rising Sun for like the closing song of the movie, like of them singing it up there and everything. So we heard that song so many times, and I can only imagine how the stars was acting in this. I talked to one of them, and he's like, dude, he's like, hey, I ain't gonna listen to that song for a while. And I said, I'm like, well, you could try listening to the Amazing Grace version of it, where it's Amazing Grace put to the rhythm of that. And he goes, really? I'm like, yeah. And I told him like it's Elias WWE Elias, um, Amazing Grace, and like it's to the style of House of the Rising Sun, but it's Amazing Grace. And he's like, that sounds cool. I'll have to check that out, man. I'm like, thank you. No, he's like, thank you. I'm like, oh yeah, you're welcome. But while the two guys are up there singing in a high voice, I was supposed to be drunk. The guy behind me is supposed to be really hammered. You know, we're both tipsy, toasted, slobber knocker drunk, as I say. So we're just like, oh my gosh, like, oh man, yeah. And as soon as they're done, everybody's cheering. We're supposed to stand up and go, yeah, that's great. You two are, you girls are, or I'm like, I love you girls. And the director couldn't contain himself. He's like, no, he didn't. I'm like, and then he's like, all right, cut. And I'm like, I'm sorry, was that okay? I thought that would be silly to say. I'm like, I'm sorry. Like, I hope I'm not offending nobody when I said that. And the director goes, no, do it again. I loved it. I'm like, okay, but the actor don't seem like he loves it. And he goes, no, man, I get it. It's cool, man. I'm like, he's like, it's the makeup, it's the glitter. And I'm like, it's okay. You're the prettiest starfish I see in the ocean. And he's just like, he even kind of cracked a little bit. Then there was like another point where I'm like, you're the prettiest man I ever saw. and, um, and and like I said, I'm acting drunk because like that's my character. I'm an extra, but that's my character. I'm supposed to be the loudmouth guy that goes, yeah. As soon as they're done singing, I'll be like, that's what I call a show. George Clooney and From Dusk Till Dawn. That's what I call an effing show. Only drunk, but so I'm like, hell yeah, man. And now, if this was authentic to how it would be, I'd be like, heaven, yeah! Anyway, but it's like there was another point where they get up there and they're singing, and like this guy goes, one of the same guys, he's like, I called him Buff Andrew Garfield because he looked like Andrew Garfield in the face, and that's a compliment. That's not an insult. This guy was a very handsome young man, buff, fit, and he's a real magician too. So that's freaking awesome. Like he actually he plays a magician, and he actually really is a magician. Like he was on America's Got Talent, I believe, and so like that's really cool. So he got up there and like this closing scene, and they're like, okay, we need y'all guys to make noise. Okay, Josh and you, I can't remember the guy's name. I friended him on Facebook too. Oh, I can't remember his name. But it's like me and him both like, okay, I want you guys to talk, like be making noise, going like, woo, cheer him on, motivate him, say stuff, And I'm like, okay. He's like, Josh, just don't call him. He's like, Josh, say something. And I'm like, okay. And I think this scene was actually before the whole girl scene, with the whole like, I love you girls. I think it was before that part. But he's up there, his character's crying, like, he's like, all right, I want to thank you guys in the back because you guys are the greatest friends I could ever have. And he's like, you know what? I don't have self-confidence issues no more. I'm no longer gonna be a womanizer. I matter. I matter. He's like, I think highly of myself. It was that kind of speech, and I don't remember word for word, but he's like, it was that kind of speech. So I matter, and I'm like, I love you, pretty bird. I was gonna call him Glitterfish because he had like glitter on his cheeks and on his face, around his eyes, because um, that was the theme of the place and stuff, like the theme of the restaurant. So, and originally he was working for the restaurant, I believe, in the movie, I think. So I don't know. We'll see when the movie comes out, but yeah. So um, he comes in. He's like, oh yeah. I'm like, I love you, glitter fish. But I came up with that like after they said cut, and I'm like, but there was a bunch of points where I'm just like, I love you. And he's like, you know what you should do? You should try to reach up for him. I'm like, no, I think that's overstepping. And he's like, well, you're drunk. You're supposed to. And I asked the director, and he's like, no, I probably don't want to do that. I'm like, okay, good. That's a little too far. That's what I was thinking. And so I'm like, just stand up. And he's like, yeah, that'd be great. That'd be great, man. I'm like, he was laughing it off. He's like, that'd be funny, but he's like, he's like, I don't know. We don't want to overstep and like make somebody uncomfortable. I'm like, well, of course not, because I'm like, oh, I didn't think so. I'm like, but I didn't know. I'm like, do you want me to like kind of like bump into somebody or something like that? And he's like, no. He's like, only do that if you're in the extras and stuff like that. But he's like, but we can't like have you doing something that's not necessarily in the script that the star doesn't know about. I'm like, well, yeah, of course. And he's like, all right. He's like, but what else do you want to do? I'm like, well, I'm like, well, I've done spilled the drink on me a couple of times. He's like, yeah, that's great. I'm wearing black, so any wet stains is not showing up in a black and white movie. So black and white. That looks weird that way. Black and white movie. So I'm like, I'm like, yeah. As I go, I'm being careful not to spill it. And the guy behind me, he's like, yeah. And as he does like that, he spills his drink and it goes down my arm, down my shirt. And I'm like, yeah, hey. I'm like, this isn't me. This isn't my wetness. And he's like, oh, I'm sorry, man. Did I get you? No, I'm sorry, dude. You know, man, I just been standing back there. I didn't mean to get you wet. That usually happens with I don't know. And I don't know, man. I've done spilled it all on me before, but that's okay. I got like 3 other ones right here. Here we go. You know. So that was a lot of fun. Um, trying to think of something else. No, I think that's about it. I think that's a wrap. As far as everything that happened. Um, yeah, I got to talk to Brenton, got to talk to a couple of them. And I reached out to him and I said, "I'm like, look, I know it's over. I know the filming's over. But is there any kind of connections that y'all have? Like maybe y'all could help me out. Maybe try to get some words. Maybe get the word out, for me. Maybe locally, something like that. Like, is there any other projects that y'all have coming up that I could be a part of? I'm like, because I'd love to be a part of y'all's crew again. I'm like, because I love the environment. I love y'all's vibes as some people say. I'm like, I just love it. Y'all are just wonderful people. And he says, he's like, well, man, he's like, we do have another movie coming up. It's gonna be on a lake house, and he's like, we'll definitely keep you in mind. Because you are wonderful to work with too. He's like, we can't say enough good things about you. And I'm like, well, I really freaking appreciate that. And I sent them like a very long email. I sent Brinson a very long email about like how much it really meant to me to work with all these people, like really just built them up to the stars in the email. And he said, he's like, thank you so much for the kind words. Like that's really helpful. That's really nice. I'm really glad we could help you and everything. He said we're definitely gonna keep you in mind. He's like, because he's like, we love working with you and you're a wonderful young man. He's like, and we have no issues with trying to call you back. And I'm like, thank you. So as of right now, he told me that there's a couple other things in the pipeline, but they're not a guaranteed date of when they're going to be filming them. Um, like, I don't think they're filming them right now, per se. I don't know if they are. They might be getting ready for it. Isaac told me that the next movie that they're going to do, it's not going to be the same people. I'm like, what do you mean? Like I'm not going to be a part of it. He's like, and a couple of the actors aren't going to be there. I'm like, well, what about Brinson? What about? I thought this was y'all studio. And he says, it's like, well, there might be some of this. It just depends on the movie. He's like, but yeah, it's like we're two movie studios basically. It's like there's um, Dreams in Shadow, Dreams in Shadows productions, and then there's Rough Diamond, no, Rough Cut Diamonds LLC. Rough Diamond, ah, Rough Rough Cut Diamond Films LLC. So I even designed them a logo for Rough Diamond Films, but then I found out they had like Dreams in Shadow, and I'm like, oh shoot, I'm like, I didn't do one for that. But they didn't need the logo. It was just a nice little gift I wanted to do for them, like just something simple, just a title, and I made a little emblem that looks like a V, but it's like a R and then a D. So I made it, so that was fun for them. Like they really appreciated it. I thought that was very sweet. Um, but yeah. Oh, another funny thing was that uh, going way back to like with the watermelon thing, with them talking about the watermelons, like how they brought it and everything. I sit down. I go to take me a bite of the watermelon. As soon as I sit down, they had called all the extras back on break. So we're all sitting in like this little area where we can like sit and just talk and fellowship and everything. And I go to take a bite, and they don't call everybody back immediately. One thing else that was like definitely that meant the world to me, made me feel really special, was that they came forth and they're like, "Hey Josh, we need you back on set. Like after you finish your watermelon." I'm like, "Oh no, I can come now. Yeah, I mean, y'all need me right now." And they're like, "Yeah, yeah. We need you back here." I'm like, "Is it everybody?" And he's like, "No, just you." I'm like, "Okay." which made me feel really good. And I was told that, it's like they were trying to use me as much as possible, even though I wasn't one of the stars or a co-star. They wanted me to be kind of like me and probably a couple other ones that actually, if whatever actors that were there that actually knew what they were doing and actually had experience in acting and theater and stuff, I think that they were also trying to make sure that they showed the camera on them the most, because naturally we knew what we were doing. We wouldn't be camera shy. We could just be doing something. We could be in character and they could film us with no issues. So they wanted to make sure that I was, you know, in there getting as much screen time as I could, which I was so happy about, because I went from begging, pretty much, like not really begging, but just, well, actually just begging God like to deliver me like some sort of a like sh- uh, position, some role, and I'm now an extra, but I felt like a VIP extra is what I felt like. I felt very, very important. VIE, very important extra, or VSE, very special extra. So, oh, I'm special, all right. Anyway, but yeah, they made me feel very special, like in the best way possible. But what I thought was just so funny was that I go to sit down, I got my watermelon, I'm like, watermelon, I love it. Hey, Josh, we need you on set. Oh, okay. And as we're getting ready to go, I didn't know what to do with my watermelon. I didn't want to just put it bare on the cloth, so there was like a conveniently little dish in the middle of the table that used to have a candle there, like a fake candle, and the fake candle was gone. So I'm like, took one bite, put it on the little dish, and I was gone. They put me on my cue, they put me on my marker, then they started getting everybody else in, started being like, okay, now we need everybody else in. And I'm like, that makes me feel so good that, I'm not just an extra that just come with the herd. It was, Josh, we need you. And I'm like, that made me feel so freaking good. I cannot wait to work with them again. I cannot wait to just get back on a professional set again, honestly. One, to fill up the resume. Two, to get paid, hopefully. Three, for more experience. Four, more experience with like-minded people like that, because it was just so invigorating, reinvigorating to be around people who were passionate about acting, who were on point, and they were they loved the craft. I'm like, oh my gosh, my people. I'm around my people at long last. Because you can go to a local theater and stuff like that, but it's not going to be the same. You're gonna have people who you're gonna have egos, which this is not gonna be nice every time I go on a professional set. You're gonna have there's gonna be egos on certain professional sets, I'm sure, in the future. But this one wasn't like that. But I'm saying like a local theater, you know, they already it's like I've been around a couple of them that they already don't really take it seriously. They're not really passionate about it. It feels like you're putting on like a little stage play for a school. It doesn't feel like this is your passion. This is you really love this role. You really are in it. You're ready to perform. There's none of that. Like it's just kind of like, oh yeah, I'm a character. Whatever. And I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, you put me as the cowardly lion in the freaking Wizard of Oz. I'm gonna do my dangest to summon the spirit. I spit, not spit it. I didn't say spit it. I said spirit. But I'm like, I'm gonna summon the spirit of the original Cowardly Lion from the original Wizard of Oz, and I'm gonna do my dangest to do an impression of him and make him proud. I'm like, I'm in character. I am the Cowardly Lion. I am just. If I were king of the forest, not queen, not duke, not prince. You want me to do that full cover? Let me know in the comments. I'm like, I would so do it. And it'd probably come out a lot better than it just did. Anyway. Okay, well, that's all I really can say about it. I mean, I had a blast, a wonderful time, not a single negative thing to say about it. And the last thing I'm gonna say, because I need to go and fix my mother her supper and everything. Like I said, we need to close this out. My closing thing is, as side, like completely unrelated, my blood pressure, the bottom number, which is the one I've been having to keep an eye on, has been in the 70s for a little over 2 weeks now. Well, I keep getting the wrong estimate. It's been at least 2 weeks now, not over 2 weeks, but it's been 2 weeks now, and it's been in the 70s. And I have pre hypertension, which it can easily be reversed to where I won't need the pill and all that other stuff. And also I won't have to worry. Um, I've changed my diet. I've been exercising and everything, and I think at least from what I've been able to look up and everything, I've asked around and I said, I'm like, what is a good way to see if I've successfully reversed my pre hypertension? I'm like, because how do I know? Because my cheeks can be red and my blood pressure be fine. So that's not even the thing. It's just temperature, If it's a little lukewarm in here, and I'm wearing this knit shirt, on top of a knit shirt, my cheeks are gonna get a little warm. It's no big deal, Which if you've seen my videos in the past, my cheeks have been very red in past videos. Which in the Pirates of the Caribbean video and the Little Mermaid video, they're very red in there. But that was back whenever I was eating ramen like every single morning, and sometimes even at night, and sometimes 3 times a day. So yeah, and drinking nothing but sodas and no water. Those days are gone. I haven't had ramen in over 2 months. So as far as soda, I sip it. I don't drink a whole bottle, and if it's like a little can, I might have 3 or 4 sips, and then the thing goes flat because I won't drink it. I'll drink water anyway. But I'm doing very good, and I looked into it to see if I could tell if blood pressure, like if I reversed it. And they said basically if you can maintain your blood pressure under 80, naturally, like if your blood pressure is gonna spike, from doing physical activities like working out, mowing the grass, or if you drink something hot, if you eat something hot, if it goes to 80 that way, it's not a big deal. But if your blood pressure is rising by itself, then that's the issue. That's the problem. But I haven't had that. I haven't had that issue at all. I think it was simply my diet. I think of this whole nightmare that I've been in with this high blood pressure thing has just been a simple thing of changing the diet. I think that's all it was. So yeah, I'm praying to God that I'm right in that. I won't see my doctor for another 3 months coming up, but in those 3 months, I'm just gonna say this: there's no way that she's not going to tell me that, okay, we're going to start weaning you off this because this looks amazing. And if she doesn't tell me that, I'm getting a second opinion because I'm tired of taking these pills. They're dehydrating me, and two, they are causing me to chafe a lot. They're drying me out. They're dehydrating me. Um, and if I don't need these things and I can maintain it myself, I don't need to be on them. You can start weaning me off of them. But, I'm like, but like I said, I'll just get a second opinion. But I don't think there's going to be any, issue there. So, because I have to be weaned off of them. Because you cannot just stop blood pressure pills. Because it can royally screw you up internally. So, I've looked into that. She's done talked to me about it. She even scared me half to death with it. Which I told her, I'm like, I don't want to just get off it. I know I got to be weaned off of it. So, I just want to be weaned off of it. But at that point, it had only been a month. And my numbers were not doing as good as they have been now. So, either way. But okay. All right. I think it's going to close us out now. Text messages. Anyway, that's going to close us out for now. Farewell wherever y'all fare. May God bless. I hope you all enjoyed this live. And if y'all have any questions and you're watching this video later, leave it in the comments. I will see it and I will respond. So, see you all next time on Leowolf TV.